In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on August 24, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Los Angeles Rams versus Houston Texans. On Saturday afternoon, the Los Angeles Rams and the Houston Texans will face off in their final preseason matchup before the regular season begins. The Rams have won their first 2 preseason games and now head to Texas to play in NRG Stadium. Meanwhile, the Texans are participating in their 4th preseason game due to their involvement in the Hall of Fame game earlier in August. While I've been impressed with the performance of Houston's backups in their last 2 preseason games, I believe that the current point spread may be a bit too wide for this particular matchup. Although the Texans managed to cover the spread against both the Giants and the Steelers, the Rams present a more formidable challenge compared to those 2 teams. Additionally, I generally avoid betting on heavy favorites during the preseason. Stetson Bennett struggled against the Dallas Cowboys, turning the ball over 4 times, but he bounced back in the following game, limiting himself to just 1 turnover. Rookie Jordan Whittington has proven to be a dependable target in the passing game, recording 11 receptions for 126 yards so far. On the ground, Scott and Zach Evans have been difficult to stop, combining for 16 carries and 62 yards. Defensively, the Rams have also shown promise, particularly in their performance against the Chargers last week. They limited the Chargers to just 15 first downs and a total of 259 yards. The Rams were strong against the run, allowing only 2.7 yards per carry, and they were equally effective against the pass, giving up just 4.8 yards per attempt. Their secondary also contributed with an interception, while their pass rush generated 2 sacks. Many experts might suggest betting on Houston, given their more stable quarterback situation. But I have confidence that Bennett will perform well in this final chance to gain valuable game experience. Although the Texans are likely to win the game outright, the Rams have enough depth to keep the score closer than the Giants and Steelers managed. Therefore, the Los Angeles Rams to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The total points for this preseason game are set lower than one might expect considering the teams involved. Case Keenum, an experienced NFL backup quarterback, has the ability to lead multiple scoring drives for the Texans. Although the Rams' quarterback situation beyond Matthew Stafford isn't ideal, head coach Sean McVay is a creative offensive mind who should be able to orchestrate at least 1 or 2 scoring drives. Additionally, I anticipate the Rams' defense to contribute with at least 1 defensive touchdown. Meanwhile, Case Keenum and Tim Boyle should be able to engineer 2 or 3 scoring drives against a Rams team that will likely rest the majority of its key players. For these reasons, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Detroit Lions. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Detroit Lions will conclude their preseason schedules with a Saturday afternoon showdown in Detroit. The Steelers, who have suffered defeats in both of their preseason games so far, are looking to bounce back before the regular season begins. Meanwhile, the Lions hold a 1-1 record in the preseason and are aiming to build momentum. The Steelers are eager to make another playoff run this year and maintain head coach Mike Tomlin's streak of consecutive winning seasons. On the other hand, the Lions are coming off a deep playoff run to the NFC Championship game and are striving to reach their first Super Bowl in franchise history. In this final preseason matchup, the Steelers are expected to give more playing time to their top 2 quarterbacks, though neither has performed particularly well in the preseason. The Steelers' offense has been underwhelming, ranking near the bottom in scoring and struggling to finish drives. On the opposite side, the Lions will primarily feature their reserve players, but this will include veteran running back Craig Reynolds and preseason rushing leader Sione Vacti. Both players are poised to exploit a vulnerable Steelers defense that won't include its regular starters and has struggled against the run, ranking 25th in the preseason. Additionally, Pittsburgh's inability to capitalize on scoring opportunities suggests they are unlikely to establish a significant lead through touchdowns. Despite the Steelers being favored, primarily due to their starters facing off against the Lions' backups. The Lions won't make it easy under head coach Dan Campbell's leadership. Given Pittsburgh's lackluster offensive performance, Detroit's defense has the potential to prevent the Steelers' starters from dominating the game. The Lions also have 2 quarterbacks and several explosive wide receivers vying for roster spots, making this a competitive battle. Expect a closely contested game, with the final score likely decided by fewer than 7 points. With that in mind, the Detroit Lions to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Throughout the first 2 preseason games, both teams have struggled offensively, with the Steelers ranked 31st in scoring and the Lions sitting at 18th. With key skill players likely resting on Saturday, it's reasonable to expect more of the same. The Lions are likely to lean on their ground game, while the Steelers might also focus on improving their rushing attack, which has only ranked 22nd in the preseason. The Steelers' preseason games have mirrored last season's trend of low-scoring affairs. They've failed to score more than 12 points in their 2 losses, while their defense has kept the games close by keeping the opposition within single digits. Meanwhile, Detroit's defense should have no trouble containing Pittsburgh's struggling offense, particularly with the Steelers rotating between backup quarterbacks competing for the backup quarterback spot. Given the lack of offensive firepower expected in this game, don't anticipate a high-scoring affair. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Vikings versus Philadelphia Eagles. The Minnesota Vikings and Philadelphia Eagles are set to face off in the 3rd week of NFL preseason action, with the game scheduled for Saturday at Lincoln Financial Field. This matchup between 2 undefeated teams promises to be an intriguing battle as both squads look to maintain their perfect preseason records. The Vikings have been an offensive powerhouse so far this preseason, racking up a total of 51 points in their victories against the Las Vegas Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. Nick Mullins has brought valuable starting experience to the team, and his performance has been solid, supported by a strong showing from his backup, Jaren Hall. The ground game has also been a highlight for Minnesota, with an impressive average of 6.5 yards per carry against the Raiders and a respectable 4.2 yards per carry against the Browns. With this balanced offensive attack, the Vikings have demonstrated their ability to move the ball effectively both through the air and on the ground. On the other side, the Eagles have emerged victorious in their first 2 preseason games, but by much narrower margins. They needed a late touchdown and a successful 2-point conversion to edge past the New England Patriots in their most recent outing. Looking ahead to the final preseason game, defensive coordinator Brian Flores is expected to dial up the pressure, particularly targeting Eagles quarterbacks Tanner McKee and Will Grier, who are likely to see increased playing time as Philadelphia evaluates its depth chart. One area of concern for the Eagles has been their depth along the offensive line, a vulnerability that Flores and the Vikings defense are sure to exploit. Despite both teams entering this game undefeated, the Vikings appear to be in a stronger position to secure the win. While the Eagles' quarterback rotation between McKee and Mason Pickett has been inconsistent, the Vikings have benefited from the solid play of Mullins and Hall. This quarterback advantage could prove crucial in determining the outcome of the game, making this an opportune moment for Minnesota to capitalize and come out on top. Both the Vikings and Eagles have started the preseason with back-to-back wins, and they'll each be aiming to finish with a perfect 3-0 record. Minnesota's high-scoring offense, led by the duo of Mullins and Hall, has been particularly impressive. In contrast, Philadelphia has won their 2 games by a combined total of just 4 points, raising concerns about their backup quarterback situation. Mullins and Hall have both gained valuable regular season experience, which seems to be translating into success during the preseason as well. This depth at quarterback gives the Vikings a clear edge, and with the possibility that some starters might see limited action, it wouldn't be surprising if Philadelphia exercises caution, especially with players like Jalen Hurts, who has not participated in the preseason since 2022 to avoid injury. Given what we've seen so far, Minnesota looks like the more polished team heading into this matchup. Minnesota's offense has been firing on all cylinders, and that momentum is expected to carry into this final preseason game. With the Vikings' superior quarterback play, I believe they'll have the upper hand and ultimately finish the preseason with a perfect 3-0 record. Therefore, the Minnesota Vikings to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Although Philadelphia has faced challenges on offense during the preseason, Minnesota's dynamic offensive style is likely to turn this game into a higher scoring affair. This is why I lean towards taking the over on the projected 33.5 points. The Vikings offense should be able to put up 20 to 24 points on their own, while the Eagles, who have scored more than 14 points in both of their preseason games, should be able to contribute at least 14 points to help push the total over. Consequently, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.